Hey there, guys. It is Josh Siwasepl, and it is time for the 2023 year in review. I'm a little late. That's because mainly I was finishing up a Let's Play that was started in... Well, no. It wasn't. I'm lying. Was Rom Shadow? Hang on a second. When was Rom Shadow started? December 27th! Yes, so I was finishing up a Let's Play that started in 2023. So that's why I had to wait. If this is your first year in review, I just simply talk about what happened last year and talk briefly about some of the Let's Plays and maybe some things that went on. So starting 2023 off was a Let's Play of Half-Life 2, carrying over from 2022. Good game. I mean, I can't fault it. I couldn't really get into the story that much of it, but the gameplay was like super solid. Completely see why the Half-Life series has like just completely stayed in popularity for the entirety of all the time that it's been around. So completely understandable there. Honestly, not going to talk too much about it because technically it's a 2022 Let's Play. Just finished up in 2023. So the first real Let's Play of 2023 was Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time. Man, what a weird game, really. Like, a callback to Crash Bandicoot, and a good one at that, but also ridiculously hard for some reason in points. Like, it was very difficult at certain moments of that game. To the point where I still haven't technically beaten it because I haven't 100%ed it. I have not touched it since I finished that Let's Play because I haven't really wanted to. Oh man, some of the things that you had to do in that game really put you in what I could only equate as torture. Like, very finite amount of movement that you have to do. Like, yeah, that game was... It was overall good if you're not trying to complete it. Trying to complete it, it's a nightmare. Which is, again, why I have not even touched it since. But don't worry, I still have plans to eventually do it. I just don't know when. Here's to 2025 when that gets done. Oh man, yeah, no, it kind of was a nightmare. At certain points. The game itself was good. I keep saying that. And that's because that's really what it is. Certain points of it, I just would never want to replay again. After Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, was Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. That's a game that I've played before, so it wasn't blind on the channel, but it's a good one. I really enjoy Shantae Risky's Revenge, and I really, really love Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Both fantastic games in my opinion, and considering I did Risky's Revenge the year before, and then I had to do Pirate's Curse at some point. I know eventually I'm going to have to do Half Genie Hero, but that game I don't like as much as the others, but I will eventually do it. Honestly, I now own the first Shantae on PS5, so maybe I can go back and do that. Instead of going forward, I go back. I imagine it's got to be good. I mean, it's an obscure game, so it has to be good, right? Is it really obscure, though? I mean, people know about it. It was obscure at the time because it didn't sell, because it came out on the Game Boy Color when the Game Boy Color was obsolete at that point. So, is it really obscure anymore? Probably not. I don't think I would consider it obscure. But it's still a game that people say is really good. So I gotta eventually go back and play that. Pirate's Curse, fantastic. I love playing through that. I'll always play through that. I own the game like 4 times over at this point, so of course I'm going to. After that, though, was something everybody wanted to see. Gears of War 3, Blind. Man, I really have enjoyed the Gears of War series. It was one of those series that when it was new, it was definitely during that time of the console wars, and I was 100% a Sony fanboy. So it was just like no convincing me to play anything Xbox. It's why I never played Halo. It's why I never played Gears. It's why I never played Blinks. Is that it? Blinks, Binks, one of those, the Time Cat, whatever. I didn't play anything Xbox. So having an Xbox now and going back and experiencing these things, yeah. No, I completely get it. Console wars are stupid. Play the games that you enjoy. And Gears of War 3 is a hell of a send-off to the Gears series. A hell of a send-off. Holy shit. Gears 1, 2, and 3. 3 fantastic games. And that ending, man. Like, it's not often you get endings that, like, really do just, like, completely satisfy. Gears of War 3 was a satisfying ending. 100%. However, what's not satisfying is after that, I attempted to play Ghost Runner. And I say attempted because I couldn't really make it that far. Even with assist stuff tried on later, after recording, I really couldn't get that far into it. Which sucks because I really wanted to like that game. The environment, the visual of it, the soundtrack. Oh, I've listened to the soundtrack numerous times just on my own. The soundtrack's phenomenal. But I just could not play it. Like, it's not a badly designed game at all. It's not like certain moments of Crash Bandicoot 4. It just was way difficult for me. And I couldn't continue it, and that sucks. Really does. I think it's the one game I've ever officially quit. I never officially quit Don't Starve. Ghost Runner is the first one I officially quit. But, and don't, this isn't like a tease or anything. I'm not saying this to be a tease. Just, I have since got the game for free on Epic Game Store. And now that I have a PC, I attempted it again. And it's the controller. It is the controller. The keyboard and mouse for Ghost Runner makes the game way more playable. How anyone can play with a controller, that amazes me because it's the controller that does bad. I'm still not like pro tier at it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to brag, but I'm able to play it. And I'm actually somewhat competent at it, unlike on PlayStation 5. So I'm not teasing anything. It's just maybe at one point in the future I'll go back to it, but that is not a guarantee. Do not take that to the bank. It is not a good check, I promise you. But because I ended up quitting, I had to find a game relatively fast to Let's Play, and that ended up being Gravity Rush. It's the game that I have owned for a few years, still sealed, because fuck that, I'm not opening it. You see how much that shit goes for on eBay now? Fuck it, I ain't opening that. But I have it through PlayStation Plus, so we ended up playing it. And I've wanted to play it for a while, and it was a really good game. I completely see why it made its way from Vita to PlayStation 4. Even with some feature cutbacks, I never played it on Vita, so couldn't tell you how it played. I just know what I played, and it was fun. It makes me really want to get into the second one because the first one ends on kind of a cliffhanger. Cliffhanger-ish, like, I don't know. It just felt like the story didn't have a proper end in the first one. So I need to play the second one, which is also one that I own that I have not opened because fuck that. But I have it digitally, so we're good. And continuing the train of games that I've wanted to play for a while now, after that I went on a Bully. Specifically the Scholarship Edition because I wanted to play the one with the most features in it. And that was the Xbox 360 version because at the time I did not have a PC. So, we played the 360 version. And yeah, that's a Rockstar game. A classic Rockstar game. I love those games. Red Dead Redemption is right up there with some of the best games ever. And Bully just follows that formula very nicely. This year has been a year of, wow, I completely see why people say these games are fantastic, and then, wow, these games are really difficult. Granted, it's only been 2. But, yeah, filled with a lot of games so far that just, I completely understand why. And Bully is one of those that I definitely want to go back and, like, fully complete. maybe play again, try and do things differently now that I know how it plays out. And it was funny too. Just another genuinely funny game from Rockstar. That good satire. And then going from high school to vampires. After that, I played Vampire, which, again, falls under that, wow, this is weirdly hard kind of aspect. Not the game itself, just one particular boss fight. And that one is another one that I need to get back to. I haven't stopped playing it. I converted it to a no commentary playthrough, and I haven't recorded anything for it in a while. I need to. I thought I was going to be able to easily do a no commentary, but man, finding time outside of when I set recording days, it kind of is hard to find recording time. But I'm still very much interested. I haven't finished it, so I don't really have much of an opinion on it, but the story so far has been fantastic. If it lets me down, I'm going to be upset. So really not much to say. However, after that came Gears of War Judgment, because I forgot to do ROM Shadow, and people kindly pointed that out. And I don't mean that in a sarcastic way. People did kindly point it out that I forgot to do ROM Shadow, but I was kind of in the middle of Judgment when that happened, so I thought that Judgment was interesting. Judgment was an interesting game, just for the way it was structured. Different from the original Gears, more arcadey. I liked that. It was a good spin-off. Like, that was smart. A spin-off game that played differently. I kind of like how the controls work in Judgment a little bit better than in the original Gears, just for the way the weapon system works. Sucks that you can only carry 2 now, though. If I would have made changes, I think I would have just had 3 weapons and then have grenades just automatically like hooked to whatever, what was it, R1, R trigger. I still don't know Xbox buttons after all these years. But I probably would have just added 1 more weapon, kept it to 3. But overall, very enjoyable. And it had the added benefit of coming with what I think at the time came with, I don't think it was DLC, a free campaign for Gears of War 3 that happened during the Gears of War 3 story, which again just fleshes out more of Gears. I like that. I like when side campaigns and side stories flesh out the main story more instead of telling like a brand new story. I don't know, that description is kind of a weird one. Like if we were to take Mass Effect, right? Andromeda takes place so far away from the main Mass Effect series that it failed because it couldn't tell a compelling story because it was being compared to Mass Effect. Whereas I think if you did Andromeda as a side story with the events of Mass Effect happening alongside of it, probably would have been a more compelling game. It was also a failure for many other reasons. Let's just, not ignore that. I'm just trying to give an example of what I mean. Like, you use Judgment to tell a story that supports the characters of Gears. So Baird and Cole, they were supporting characters. So you give a story that fleshes them out. Smart move. Then you have a campaign that fleshes out the moments you missed from the Gears of War 3 story. Good move. Great. I'm all on board for that. Flesh out the story from the main series works every time as far as I'm concerned. And then following on with the Gears of War 3 train, I went back and did ROM Shadow immediately after. It's because it needed to be done. And again, that falls under the flesh out the side characters that we met in the first game and add a bit more context to the main story. Fantastic. Technically, it carried over into 2024, like, Half-Life. But at the time of recording this, I'm finished with it. So, again, why I'm so late. It just reinforces why the Gears of War series is really good. And it's been a fantastic, enjoyable ride so far. Little hesitant on Gears of War 4 based on what people have told me, but I've tried to keep as much as I know about that game to a minimum, so I don't spoil anything for myself. But that was it, because now we're into 2024, and we're to look on to the beyond. And in 2023, I built a computer, And it's a pretty good one. And now I can do legitimate PC games again, instead of struggling with ports and wraparounds and ROMs. Actually, ignore that last part. Game developers. I did not say ROMs. So, I'm excited, and now I have this wealth of possibility at my hands of what I can do. And I'm at a loss. I genuinely don't know what to do next. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. I will be happy to hear it. I still have to figure out how I like to record on the PC. It comes with its own recording software for AMD, but I had trouble when I did the Christmas special with doing that because like the video didn't convert that well to my editing software. I don't know. I'll probably download Fraps or something and find some other recording software that I think is pretty good and use that. And then once I figure that out, we'll really get into PC gaming again. But yes, if you have any ideas or if you want to see a game done, just let me know in the comments. And thank you all so much for another year. And 2024, why does that seem so important? Why does 2024 seem so important? Could it be because it's the 10-year anniversary to the channel? Holy shit, 10 years? Wow, 10 years. We're gonna have to figure something out for that. But for right now, I'm gonna get to the next thing, whatever it is, and I'll see you guys there.